y'all? I hope that you're doing well today or tonight. Sorry, Guts was scratching his face behind me. He likes to interrupt the videos. He wants to be the star of the show, of course. Let's see. There he is. Anyhow, I've got no plans for this evening. Just some good old-fashioned rambling, as per usual. I try to, what's the word I'm looking for? I try to keep things fresh and mix things up by doing different triggers and whatnot, but sometimes I just want to talk, you know. As I'm sure those of you who watch my videos know by now, I love to talk. So, talk I will. Earlier today, I finally finished Expedition 33. I won't spoil anything, but it was a great game all the way to the very, very end. It had a consistent quality the whole time. So, if you're looking for a game to play, I highly recommend Expedition 33. It's just fantastic. I love the turn-based combat has active defense to it, which I've never experienced prior to this game. But it just adds a unique extra level to combat that is just so much fun. The music is amazing. Sorry, my nose is itchy. The characters are fantastic. And of course, the story is terrific. There's really... I struggle to think of any bad things about the game. It's great. It's really, really great. Now, again, I won't spoil anything, but at least from what I understand, what I've seen, there's 2 separate endings to the game. I ended up doing both endings. I'm not sure if there's more, like, hidden endings perhaps, but of the 2 endings that I know of, I've done both. And, you know, it does a good job. That's all I'll say. It does a good job at evoking emotion. It's very there's a lot of depth and impact in both of the endings. Yeah, that's all I'll say on that, to avoid spoiling it for anybody, but yeah, great game, and I've nowhere near done everything there is to do in it. There is a ton of optional content and side activities that I may go back and do at some point, but I completed the main story at least, and yeah, fantastic all the way through. So if you're into turn-based games and really like a good story-based game and a bit of challenge as well, then I highly recommend giving it a go. Now that I've finished that game, I can move on to another one. I only like to play one game at a time, at least as far as story-driven games go. If I'm playing multiple story-rich games, I have trouble keeping track of what's going on, and I tend to burn myself out of them because of that. So, this whole time that I've been playing Expedition 33, I've been playing other non-story games as well. Mostly Monster Hunter, a bit of Monster Hunter Wilds, and Monster Hunter Rise. Sorry, my voice is a bit, scratchy today. So I've been playing those on the side, as I slowly progressed through Expedition 33. But I've actually already decided and begun my next story-based game, and the one I went with is Granblue Fantasy Relink. I saw it on the home screen on Steam's main page quite a bit over the past year or so. It popped up a lot, and I love anime and manga, so that anime art style, that flashy, bright colored art style, always catches my eye. And so I would see it, and I didn't really know anything about it. I just, it looked interesting, but I just kind of skimmed past it. Just went, I wonder what that's about. And then about a week or two ago, a video about it actually popped into my recommended feed. And I actually saw a little bit of the gameplay, and it looks amazing. It's an action RPG, which I love a whole lot. actually one of my favorite games of all time is an action JRPG, which is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Love that game to bits, but yeah, it looked really good, and so I thought, hey, let's give it a go. And I've only played maybe 30 or 40 minutes. I'm just beginning. I made it to the first town, and then that's where I stopped for now, but I absolutely love it so far. It looks beautiful. The action combat feels really, really great so far, and I'm at the very start of it, so it's very basic, but it feels good so far. I don't know a whole lot about the characters because I've just begun, but they all seem very lovable and interesting so far. I'm excited to know more about them. But yeah, the only gripe I had with it so far was the English voice acting. I couldn't do it. The dragon companion, I think his name is Vern. I just hated his voice. I couldn't, I didn't like it. So I ended up switching the voice acting to Japanese and keeping text as English, of course, so I can understand what's going on, but that is far, far better. So that's the only real issue I've had, and it's fixed now, so no harm done, you know. I actually had the same issue with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. The voice acting in that game just... Let me rewind just a moment here. I shouldn't say the voice acting is bad in either of these games. It's just not for me. The voice actors worked very hard, I'm sure. And it's not that they're bad voice actors. They just don't fit how I perceive the characters. So, it's not that they did a poor job. It's just not for me. But, anyhow, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I had to switch the voice acting from English to Japanese as well, because it just wasn't my thing. Almost all the characters were English or Scottish or Irish sounding, and it just didn't really fit the feel of the game, in my opinion. again, some people really, really liked it. It just wasn't for me. There was, however, a notorious fight relatively early in that game, in the English version, where a whole bunch of soldiers attack your party, and they all spam the same voice line over and over, and they overlap each other. You can find videos of it if you want to look it up. It was pretty funny. But yeah, that's the only thing that I didn't really like about the game so far, was the English voice actors. Voice acting. I've got nothing against the voice actors. Sorry. But yeah, really, really fun game so far, and I'm very excited to play more of it and get more engrossed in the world. My understanding of the game is that it has a relatively short main story, and then lots of endgame boss fights and character building, which I am very, very excited for. That's not to say that I'm rushing through the main story just to get to that point, but I am very excited to see what the end game holds, and from what I've seen of endgame boss fights, they are very reminiscent of Monster Hunter games, which I am a huge fan of. And then on top of that, they remind me quite a bit of Final Fantasy XIV. The AoE circles that the bosses put down just look a lot like that. Kind of the design of the characters as well gives that Final Fantasy XIV kind of feel. Yeah, I'm very excited to continue playing. I really, really enjoy it so far. Anyhow, moving on to a completely different topic. One that made me laugh pretty hard earlier today. I saw a comment that was very short and straight to the point. The comment said that I looked and sounded constipated and like I had to fart. I found that to be very funny. I'm sure it was intended more to hurt my feelings, but it made me laugh really, really hard. So, thank you, whoever it was that commented that. It made me laugh really, really hard, and in a very odd way made my day. So, thank you for your fart/constipation comment. If I'm being completely honest, there have been multiple times where I've had to make cuts and edit the video because my stomach would growl really, really loud. No farts yet. Maybe one day I'll have to edit out a fart or two. But mostly just very loud stomach growling sounds. So, I suppose it's not too terribly far-fetched to say that I look and sound constipated. My stomach does make a good bit of noise. Sorry, I think toilet humor is very, very funny. I'm very immature in that sense. I think farts are funny. I'm not much of a gentleman in that regard. There was... Okay. I'm going to tell a story. And I don't tell this story to make fun of this person. I never even saw their face. I don't know this person. And what happened was perfectly natural. But it did make me laugh until I cried. So, quite a few years ago, I was a teenager. I want to say I was probably 15 years old. So the immaturity didn't help, but anyhow, me and my family had just landed from coming back from, I think, Maryland. I can't remember. We had just landed, and on the way home, we stopped at a gas station that was right near the airport, just to grab some snacks and use the bathroom if we needed to. I had to use the restroom, so I walked in, and it was pretty busy, so there was quite a few people in there, and I was waiting in line at a urinal, and it came to be my turn, so I walked to the urinal and started doing my business. when it's a big bathroom, right? It's a big bathroom. A stall all the way on the other side of the restroom. This absurdly low, grumbling noise noise started to form and bounce off the walls. It sounded like a tremor, but slowly built up volume. And this poor fella must have been fighting for his dear life in that stall, because that fart was, I'm not kidding, at least 20 seconds. And what started as a low growl, almost, as we neared the end of this 20-second toilet adventure, ended in a bit of a squeak. And I laughed. So I tried to keep it in, because I didn't want to embarrass the guy, right? But I was laughing so hard, I was crying. I mean, just tears streaming down my face. And again, this bathroom was packed. And yeah, I mean, everybody was laughing so hard. I mean, just, this poor guy was probably so embarrassed, but everybody was just, we couldn't help it. Everyone was just laughing. And the size of the restroom, it kind of made it echo a bit. And so, it was so funny. It was so funny. And, yeah, I hope that he made it out okay, because it sounded like he was fighting demons in that stall. So, I hope he's doing better now. Almost a decade later. Anyhow, I think I've talked about farts enough for one video, so I'm going to stop being immature now and let you go to sleep. So, I hope